Hi everyone! I'm going to show you how to create a simple, gender-neutral icon in Adobe Illustrator 2020. If you've already taken English 3410 or have previous experience using the Adobe Creative Cloud, this should be pretty easy for you to follow. Full disclosure, I don't have a ton of experience using a Mac, so my instructions will be specific to Windows. That being said, feel free to jump around if you want. I've included timestamps so you can skip to the information you need. I'll be going over 4 main sections: setting up your document, Illustrator Introduction, drawing the icon, and finishing up. Let's get started. Click Create New. There are a ton of settings you can mess around with, but since this is just a basic tutorial, we're going to stick to the basics. Set your dimensions here. I'm just going to set mine for 300 by 300 and change the units to pixels. Always design your icons in a square format because most interfaces require it. Look at the icons on the top. Notice that they could all fit into a little square. Once in your document, make sure Pixel Preview is activated so that your image will snap to the grid when you move it or make changes. Because we're working in a square, it's important to use the grid so that your end result is high quality and precise. Click File and Save before starting to avoid losing any work. Save it in the Adobe Illustrator AI format. We'll be using the toolbar a lot, which can be found here on the side. If you can't find the tool I'm using, look under the Window panel, which is here along the top. Let's start by drawing the legs. Click and hold the Rectangle tool, which can be found here on the toolbar. Select the Line Segment tool from the list. Hold Shift while dragging your cursor down to draw a line. Holding Shift will make the line straight. With the other leg, switch to the Selection tool here on the toolbar. Hold Alt while dragging the line to the side. This will perfectly duplicate the line. Next, click and drag your cursor around the two. The line should be enclosed in a dotted box. Click Object up here at the top and select Group to join the legs together. Now you can move them around and change them at the same time. Under the Properties panel, click Stroke. Here you can increase the weight of your line. I'm going to do 7 points. While you're here, add rounded caps by clicking this icon. By the way, before you move things around, hover over the shape until you see a blue line and the word Path written in pink. Torso, select the Rectangle tool. Draw a rectangle overlapping the legs. If your rectangle is empty in the middle, click this little arrow to swap the fill and stroke. Under the Properties panel, click this little icon that says Choose Effect when you hover over it. Select Convert to Shape, select Rounded Rectangle. Fiddle around with the width and height and corner radius until you're happy with it. Next, we're going to make a skirt on just one side. Select the Rectangle tool. Hold Shift while dragging to draw a perfect square. Select the Direct Selection tool. Click on one of the corners and press Delete on your keyboard. Move it where you think it should go. Before we move on, make sure you save your work. See this little star? It means you have unsaved work. Get into the habit of clicking Ctrl+S periodically. For the arms, copy the pair of legs by holding Alt while dragging off to the side. Shorten them a bit, then right-click and select Ungroup. Now move the arms where you think they should go. Make sure you set the left arm at an angle. For the shoulders, hold Alt while clicking and dragging one of the arms. Hover over one of the ends until you see this curved arrow. Click and drag until the line is horizontal. Plop it right here connecting the torso and arms. Increase the point size in the Properties panel like we did before. Click and drag one of the ends to shorten it, and adjust as necessary. Finally, the head. Click and hold the Rectangle tool. Select the Ellipse tool from the list. Hold Alt and Shift while dragging your cursor around to draw a circle. Holding Alt will make the circle grow from the center instead of the side, and holding Shift will make the ellipse a perfect circle. Move the circle above the body but not quite touching it. To finish up, use the Direct Selection tool to draw a box around everything. Group it together. In the Properties panel, click Horizontal Align Center and Vertical Align Center. Hold Shift while dragging one of the corners to make it bigger. Do a final save and you're done. At this point, you've hopefully noticed that our icon is fairly basic and made up of simple, clean shapes. This is intentional. You don't want your icon to be a complicated piece of artwork full of cross-hatching. You want it to be recognizable on a small scale. Also, I think it's worth mentioning why I chose this particular icon. I've seen a lot of funny, clever, gender-neutral icons, but if the purpose of our icon is to symbolize a bathroom, these creative icons may confuse our audience. Even if a person has never seen a gender-neutral icon before, or has never even heard of gender neutrality, they'll be able to understand that this sign means bathroom because it matches what they're already used to. Thank you for watching. I hope this video has informed you of both the why and the how behind iconography.